Hi, this is Jack from TritiumSoft.com talking to you today about our exciting new software release, WorldFlagsDojo2. Let's get started. Inside WorldFlagsDojo2, sometimes there's conflict areas. For instance, let's open Flags table. If we go into Flags table and scroll over, we can find this flag here with the crosses on it. That's the flag of Georgia. So if I click on there, you see Georgia. There's the locator map. I can go back up here, and right below it are two more flags. The first flag is the Republic of Abkhazia. It's got an unusual flag with a hand on it. And it says de facto. And de facto means this country is not recognized by the other countries. And so, the only country that I know recognizes this country is Russia. And Russian military maintain this country's ability to exist, according to some of the sources I've seen. I don't know off of any other sources, but what I've seen is that's the case. So this is Republic of Abkhazia. It's inside the international borders of Georgia. And if we look over here again, there's another one below Abkhazia, de facto South Ossetia. And so if you look at this map below here, it highlights this whole situation, the Georgian Civil War, and it shows Abkhazia and South Ossetia inside the boundaries of the European country of Georgia. And so if we click on this map, we can open up an interactive map that shows Georgia. Now, in a lot of cases, these breakaway regions aren't recognized by the GPS people. And so what I mean by that is I can see Georgia on this list, but in a lot of cases, if I press the GPS button, I won't get a good return. And in this case, I get some return. It says the country code's Georgia, and it tells me the time. But if you look at this map, you're going to have a hard time finding where these locations are, which is a nice feature of the locator map we were looking at before. So if we open it back up again, go over to Georgia, to Abkhazia, you can see here the maps that they listed. And so in some cases, this can be an issue. And then maybe you're wondering to yourself, well, why is this? And so WorldFlagsDojo2 has more answers for you. I don't have the answer for you right off the top of my head, but the program provides resources for it. And so what we should do here is if we go back in through this map and close out, and the reason to do this is so we get to this scroll view. So we get this big table, this big list of entities, countries, and features. And if we scroll all the way to the bottom, so in the bottom of the countries list and in the bottom of the North American states list, we see two hyperlinks. One is the privacy policy on the right, and the other is CIA files on the left. And so if we went to privacy policy, what you would see is TritiumSoft.com's product advertisement page plus privacy policy. And we close that and go back to CIA files. That sounds pretty exciting, doesn't it? Go to CIA files. Well, it turns out the United States publishes the World Factbook. You can explore all countries in the world. They provide on their website, they provide every country that they recognize in the world and some areas, territories, deserted islands, things like that. But in any case, we can use this to find out more information. So it's kind of like a Wikipedia, but it's one that's run by the Central Intelligence Agency of the United States. So if we click this down arrow here, it gives us a fast filter. We can go to the letter G for Georgia, and go down, we see, oh, Georgia pops up in the list right under Gaza Strip. And so clicking on Georgia, we get all this great stuff. There's 14 photos of Georgia we could look at, another country flag, a country map, and it has a locator map. And if we go down, there's an introduction with a background. And if you look at the bottom of the second main paragraph in the background, it talks about Abkhazia and South Ossetia. So while Wikipedia might have more information, this one has a lot more diverse information and reliable information than you're going to find on Wikipedia. So it's a nice feature. I love Wikipedia, but this one is also really great for countries and has different information than you're going to find generally on Wikipedia. So here it's talking about Abkhazia and South Ossetia, and talking about this conflict that in 2008, Russia unilaterally recognized the independence of Abkhazia and South Ossetia, and Russian military forces remain in those regions. And so there we're able to research this country further, and there's all sorts of more information about Georgia down in here. If we had searched for Abkhazia, it's not going to show up. And so that's one great feature of WorldFlagsDojo2, is we got you covered. We know where these places are, and we've listed them in an order that makes sense. And all we need to do is go up here to the left, to the Done button, and it'll bring us right back to that hyperlink again. And if you want me to show you, we could go under A, and we'll see Abkhazia is not on the list. And you know why it's not on the list? Because the United States does not recognize Abkhazia. So it's not on the list. But they mention it under Georgia, which is the international boundary it lives in. So that gives you another arrow in for your bow and arrow to go and be all the best you can be. Thanks for watching. See you next time.